A multi-billion-dollar pipeline, but who will pay for it? The surprising funding breakdown. Elections Alberta rejects an anti-coal mining petition.
She's the winner today on this.
Why it failed and how the outcome could bode well for the Premier. And Calgary's biggest street party kicks off 10 days of round-the-clock fun.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good afternoon. Alberta is closer to building a new pipeline to the West Coast after its proposal made it to the Federal Major Projects Office. There are still steps to be worked out, but construction could start next fall. Tim Brooke was there for the announcement, and Tim joins us now with the details. Tim, Alberta's Premier and the Prime Minister had a few surprises.
Well, yes, first and foremost, a lot of industry watchers yesterday taken off guard by the new proposed routes of this pipeline. Of course, the Premier originally wanted to go through northern BC. Now, the idea is to follow the existing Trans Mountain line through BC. So essentially, it will start in a town called Bruderheim, just northeast of Edmonton, and then run down to the Port of Vancouver, which is very close to the U.S. border. The pipeline's funding structure has also surprised a lot of people. We learned last night taxpayers will be on the hook for the large majority of the cost, which could run as high as $43 billion. Federally owned Trans Mountain Corporation will be working with privately owned Pembina Pipeline, the latter company currently the only private partner, and it only has a 10% stake, which leaves the remaining 90% up to the provincial and federal governments. One energy expert points out other expansions are just right now less risky for producers.
So they're talking about 2.2 million barrels a day of new pipeline capacity by 8 years from now. We don't have the growth right now to support all of that. And shippers are not going to sign up for 20-year take-or-pay commitments unless they have a high confidence that they're going to be able to deliver that growth.
Both governments also getting blasted by environmental groups today. The feds have committed to expanding coastal protections in British Columbia, but of course a new line eventually will mean new emissions. And Cam, as of now, there's still no concrete timeline on the Pathways carbon capture project.
All right, Tim, thank you so much. Leaders in Alberta's Separatist movement are calling the new pipeline plan a clear example of a poor investment climate. Those looking to secede from Federation believe the government should not be spending taxpayers' money on a pipeline. The Alberta Prosperity Project wants the federal tanker ban gone, along with any barriers it believes has made Alberta a place where the private sector does not want to invest. The group believes the Premier made too many concessions to move Alberta crude.
This isn't how a country is supposed to work. You know, and so Danielle's not standing up for Albertans. She's not standing up for the people of this province. She doesn't care about any of us, it appears, anymore. All that matters to her is, you know, agreeing with Mark Carney on things, you know, in some form, so that she can make these grand public announcements that in the broader scheme of things don't mean a thing.
A referendum will be held in October on whether Alberta should remain or begin the process to hold a future vote on separation. Elections Alberta has completed the verification process on the coal petition and says it was not successful. The No New Coal Mining in the eastern slopes of the Rocky Mountains collected 196,088 signatures. It needed just over 177,000. However, Elections Alberta says it had to reject some signatures because of incomplete elector information. Some signed more than once, and others were unwilling to verify their information. As a result, the verified signatures were about 5,000 short of what was needed. One political scientist says the person benefiting most by the petition's failure is Premier Danielle Smith.
Sudden she's let off the hook in terms of not having to actually go ahead, or the embarrassment of saying I'm not going to put it forwards to the people. So yeah, she's the winner today on this, but as I said, it'll be interesting to see what the next step is for the people who are advocates of this.
In a statement, petition organizer Corb Lund says he's shocked by the outcome and has concerns about the fairness of the process. Police are asking for help identifying the suspect in an assault along Stephen Avenue. It happened in the early morning hours of June 14th. This is the man police are trying to identify. They're hoping someone recognizes his clothing. Investigators say the man and woman appeared to be arguing, which prompted 3 men to approach and check on the woman. The man then assaulted the Good Samaritans, leaving 2 with serious injuries. The woman left the area with another group of women. Calgary police have charged 6 teens following a stabbing that left another teen in serious condition. The 17-year-old boy was attacked in an alley in Auburn Bay on May 7th. A nearby resident had noticed 5 or 6 other boys wearing ski masks and hoodies, beating the victim with bear spray, bricks, and shoes. She called 911 while yelling at the group to break it up. Police say 4 14-year-old boys and 2 15-year-old boys have now been charged. It was the perfect weather for this morning's Stampede Parade. Hundreds of thousands of people lined the downtown route to take in the entertainment and kick off this year's Calgary Stampede. Tommy Osborne has some highlights.
Plenty of yahoos at the annual Stampede Parade, as around 300,000 people cheered on the biggest single-day event in Calgary. This entry, the Soul of Mexico, won the Best Overall Award, one of many cultural entrants celebrating Calgary's diverse population, with Korea, Japan, Chile, and more all taking part. Olympic medalists Mikhail Kingsbury and Courtney Sarau headed the parade as its marshals, and other notable figures like Santa Claus and federal conservative leader Pierre Poilievre also took part.
Greatest outdoor show on earth!
In total, more than 120 entrants took part in the 5-kilometer route, and whether you're walking or dancing it, that's around 6,300 steps. The iconic Stampede Show Band was one of 9 to keep the party going, joining 35 floats and 700 horses. If you were one of thousands walking the route, I hope you didn't wear white shoes, because those horses created around 2 tons of manure. Each entry was accompanied by a Royal Canadian Sea Cadet, Army Cadet, or Air Cadet. Tommy Osborne, CTV News, Calgary.
And following the parade, many people head straight to Stampede Park. That's where Tyler Barrow joins us from now. And Tyler, what can people expect when they head to the grounds this year?
Cam, it is much of the same that keeps people coming back, but there are a few new attractions down here at the grounds for the greatest outdoor show on earth. Now, what was noticeable? People's excitement for day 1. This was the line just before 11 a.m. when the park opened. Those attending were able to get free entry until 1. Inside the park, rides, games, food favorites, along with several shows are spread out the park. New for this year's the Flying Fools High Dive Show, where divers jump into a 3-meter pool from as high as 25 meters. Sand sculptures are also new, and the Taste of the Stampede cooking competition, which showcases Alberta's culinary scene. This is just one event people are excited for.
Hanging out with the kids, enjoying the rides, tasting the new foods, all that fun stuff.
Just getting everybody together, coming out, having a good time, being with people I care about. That's the best feeling.
It gets better each year. This is amazing, the people that come out. It's just, the weather is perfect weather. You can't ask for anything better.
Now, yesterday, over 32,000 people attended Sneak a Peek. That's down from last year's 35. Looking at the total number of expected attendees, the Stampede does not set expectation records. Cam.
All right, Tyler, and I got to say, you look pretty sharp, young man. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring Danielle now with her first look at the weather. And just as the show started, the thunder or the lightning, just no lightning. Thunderstorm was coming down.
Yeah, just some rain in the city. But like, what would Stampede Week be without
the weather?
all the active weather that we typically get at times during Stampede. Now, for today, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch in Calgary, all up basically most of QE2 and down Highway 2 towards Claresholm. So there is the potential severe storms, but right now what's pushing through Calgary is just a pocket of rain. It will likely develop into a thunderstorm as it tracks off to the east, though. We're at 19 degrees right now, and looking the other way and away from the city, there is some sunshine out there as well. All right, your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by Fifth Avenue Volkswagen, family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at Fifth Avenue Volkswagen. And tomorrow is a very similar day. Again, 16 degrees at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. A lot of sunshine for much of the day. And then in the early afternoon hours, the clouds will increase and we get into the chance of showers and thunderstorm activity once again.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much. When Stampede rolls in, just about everyone hears about it. And some residents living around the action have already had enough. Just a day in, and diving in to win and make new friends. How 5 Special Olympians from Calgary are already making waves. The Calgary Stampede is barely underway, and already one downtown music tent has received a noise warning. The City of Calgary says they have received 4 complaints from the Cowboys music tent, while 3 related to the Badlands Music Festival on Thursday. Noise monitoring showed the Cowboys Music Festival was operating within the approved noise exemption permit, while Badlands exceeded the recommended decibel limit and was issued a warning. Residents as far as Hillhurst are noticing the Stampede temp music. Some say it was a tough night to catch some sleep, while others are going with the flow.
I don't find it too disturbing at all. I love the vibes. It's good. It's a nice area. Everyone's pretty chill around here, so I don't see any problems with it. I mean, it's Stampede season, Yahoo, right?
You know, we thought it would die down by later in the evening, but by around like 11:30, midnight, we were still hearing like a lot of noise through our bedroom when we were trying to sleep at night.
The city says it will continue to monitor activity throughout the 10 days. Residents experiencing concerns related to noise are encouraged to call 311. The Mustard Seed held a family-friendly Stampede event underneath the Calgary Tower this afternoon. Some tunes kicking off the 16th annual Stampede Roundup. Instead of pancakes, people got to enjoy some beef on a bun, along with several activities for the whole family. The Mustard Seed says this event is a way to thank the community for their support. Let's bring in Danielle once again, who is tracking that thunderstorm that's, you know, just dropping raindrops all over the revelers out there.
Yeah, you know, it's severe storm season, right? So we're going to get into that. We typically do at times during Stampede. It's pretty quiet in southern Alberta, though, right now, but there are severe thunderstorm watches in place because some of these could bubble up into something pretty big, and that could happen really fast. All right, Skywatch Weather Cam showing you, look, half that screen shows you blue sky and the white fluffy clouds, and the other screen shows you, the other half of the screen shows you the rainfall. All right, it's 19 in Calgary, so we're starting to dip in temperature because of the cell that's pushing through. At this point in Calgary, it doesn't have lightning with it, so it's not a thunderstorm, but it is a decent pocket of rain that's swiping through really quick. It's dropping the temperature, the winds are picking up, certainly dropping some rain, and then the temperature will likely kick up a little bit after it and then start to drop once again for the evening a little later. 24 is the temperature in Lethbridge, 26 in Medicine Hat, so temperatures a little above normal in most communities. We had not an excessively windy day, but certainly a breezy day. 46 was the maximum wind gusts in Medicine Hat, closer to that 50-60 range, Lethbridge, Pincher Creek, and in Calgary around 48. You could expect these same wind gusts in your community for tomorrow as well and the next day. All right, so Claresholm all the way up Highway 2 to Calgary and then up towards Red Deer. This is where we have the severe thunderstorm watch in place. So no cells reaching that criteria right now, but that larger size hail, those bigger downpours, the stronger wind gusts, some of these cells, and while it's very localized and it's very small of a chance that we're going to get it in the south, the odd one could bubble up to a more severe criteria. Also north of Brooks and up towards Coronation and towards the Saskatchewan border, there's also the severe thunderstorm watch in place. And this is really for the next couple of hours. These cells typically, though, right now through today are in central Alberta. We do have some that have developed, but a lot of them are dying out and not making their way. So we don't have that activity in southern Alberta right now. But again, there is the potential over the next couple of hours. This is what just swiped through Calgary, just some rain right now. Okay, as we head through today, well, by 10 o'clock tonight, this is all done. And then tomorrow is much like what we had today. Lots of sunshine for much of the day, and then the instability building in as early as 2 in the afternoon. Isolated showers, thunderstorms possible, and then getting more severe as they track off to the east. And you really have the same idea for Sunday. Sunday, sunny to start off the day, and by about 3 in the afternoon, we could get into that thunderstorm activity once again, and that will track all the way down towards the Trans-Canada as well. All right, longer range forecast for Calgary. 25 is our high for tomorrow, so really a lot like today, but then cooler on Sunday with just a high of 16, and then we get to 23 on Monday, and then a lot of heat for Tuesday and Wednesday up to a high of 27.
Danielle, thank you so much. The loonie takes a hit. Still to come, how uncertainty around the Canada-US-Mexico trade agreement is impacting your spending power. Canada continues to expand its international trade ties. Joining me is Faisal Karmali, Portfolio Manager with the Popowich Karmali Advisory Group. So Faisal, Prime Minister Mark Carney signs a deal with the Philippines.
Now, this is probably not going to take a lot of news or headlines out there because it's not a very large trading partner. But I think the messaging inside is even bigger than what we want out of it. First of all, they did sign an agreement late on Thursday talking about energy, natural resources, labor, and tourism. And President Marcos from the Philippines is also the chair of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, a bloc with whom Canada has another negotiation to go with. So if you're good with the chair, you might be good with the rest of the board, and that might be the opportunity. Now, President Marcos also did something that was very interesting, is that he also mentioned that he would like to see a bit of a fast track for his citizens who are coming to this country that are professionals to get a job here in their profession. Maybe the provinces might have to look at ways to get people up and running, such as doctors and others, to be working right away in this country.
And keeping with trade, Faisal, the Canadian dollar dips after news of no CUSMA deal.
And on top of that, 39 foreign exchange analysts have looked out and said, maybe the U.S. dollar is still going to be stronger versus the Canadian. In fact, they were expecting the Canadian dollar to rise as much as 4% higher, or 73 cents versus the U.S. That's not going to be the case now. Those analysts are now saying it's only going to go up about 1 cent from here. So look at that 71 cents. Now, the U.S. markets were closed, so not too much volume on this Independence Day weekend, but we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks as these analysts talk about the U.S. and the Canadian dollar.
It will be an interesting couple of weeks ahead. Faisal, thank you so very much.
Thanks for having me.
Canadians with low to modest incomes will receive the first quarterly payment of a new financial assistance initiative today, which replaces the GST HST credit. Ottawa is making the first regular payment of the Canada Groceries and Essentials Benefit, or CGEB. The amount people will receive depends on how many children they have, as well as their marital status. Ottawa says this assistance, which amounts to 25% more than people received under the previous program, will provide relief to Canadians struggling with expenses. The proposed new pipeline to the West Coast will be funded mostly by taxpayers. Here's Ian White with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Camilla, originally it was sold as a privately funded project, so that change in structure has surprised a lot of people. Coming up at 6, why the Canadian Taxpayers Federation calls the strategy a waste of money. Also ahead, over 300,000 people turned out for the Stampede Parade this morning. Coming up at 6, reaction for those who watched along the route. Camilla?
So much. A $40 million investment from the federal government will help contemporary Calgary complete its transformation into a leader in contemporary art and education. It's located in the old Centennial Planetarium.
This project is the next step in helping contemporary Calgary continue to deliver high-quality programming, events, exhibitions to Calgarians. It integrates it with the community. This project will further draw visitors to our city with the installation of Canada's first flat-floored LED dome, first of its kind dedicated entirely to contemporary art installations.
Once completed, Contemporary Calgary will have more than 39,000 square feet of gallery space and education space. It works with more than 30 community partners each year, creating a platform for Calgary's broader arts, education, and community sectors. Ottawa is investing $9 million in southern Alberta to help trade businesses build on existing efforts to grow, improve productivity, and strengthen domestic trade opportunities in the area. They will use the money to upgrade systems and technology, grow their capacity, and strengthen viability. This initiative will support more than 217 jobs in southern Alberta. Well, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch right now. It is getting cooler out there, as Danielle mentioned, sitting at 19 degrees, cloudy skies, some specks of blue out there too. Danielle has more details right after the break. All right, Danielle is back. So if you're heading out tonight, do a little stampeding, what should we know?
Well, we have the risk of thunderstorms right now. That starts to die out as we head through these next couple of hours. So, yeah, you may run into a couple raindrops here and there, but overall, not bad. It's 19 degrees right now. We did get up to a high of 21. We may get back up to 20 before we actually start to really dive down in temperature for the night. As you go out over these next couple of days to Stampede, if that's where you're headed, it's a lot of sunshine throughout the day. And then by 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, that's when we get into our chance of showers and the risk of thunderstorms. And by 3 o'clock on Sunday is when we get into that risk and chance. Sunday, though, certainly on the cooler side in comparison, just 16 degrees, but then we bounce back fast and we'll be in the 20s for Monday and all of next week.
Thank you, Danielle. 5 swimmers from Calgary heading to the Special Olympics national event in August, and they're hard at work in the pool training for the chance to represent Canada. Team Alberta is sending 15 swimmers in total to the 2026 Special Olympic Canada Games in Medicine Hat. 5 of them are from in and around Calgary. They're spending a lot of time in the pool practicing to improve their strength and technique. Many of the swimmers have a lot of experience in the games and have even been to nationals before. Casey Cruz has been swimming with Special Olympics for 8 years, and this is her first time going up against swimmers from all across Canada.
I'm excited to meet people from different provinces and just gaining some more friendships from them. I've done some other fun activity competitions the past couple years, so I'm very excited just to meet people and also swim, of course.
The 2026 Special Olympics Canada Summer Games take place in Medicine Hat from August 11th to the 15th. Athletes are vying for a chance to represent Team Canada at next year's World Games in Santiago, Chile. And look at them go. A great day in the pool. That's the kind of wet that we kind of like, not the rain on our heads type of thing. All right, thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.